Welcome back. In this video, we're talking about why online video is the future of content marketing. Video is powerful today, and there's some major reasons why video is going to be strong well into the future. So there are some advantages and disadvantages to video. We're going to dive into those first. Then we're going to talk about the results you can get when you do video right. And then we'll wrap up this episode with some strategies on how to do video efficiently. The first reason why I see video is very strong now and well into the future for content marketing is because video has such a good distribution channel. I'm talking specifically about YouTube, right? YouTube has the best search engine and it has the best promotion engine out there compared to any other video platform. If you're comparing it to Vimeo or even things like Netflix or Amazon. So if you want to create content that gets to a lot of people, you've got to have that distribution strategy. So that's why I think it's crazy when people want a lot of views on their videos, but they put them someplace like Vimeo. There are a lot of great forms of content, right? There's books, there's podcasts, there's blogs, there's social media, there's even memes, which drive me crazy. These other forms of media are great, but in order for them to compete with something like YouTube, they'd really have to improve their distribution channel. So how do you build trust in a relationship, and then how does that translate to video? Okay, one of the best ways to build trust in a regular relationship, whether with a spouse or a friend, is through vulnerability. The more vulnerable we are, the more opportunities we have, or the more opportunities we take to show vulnerability, and then that vulnerability is respected, right? It's honored and it's not violated. There's trust built, right? We share something that is close to us and somebody respects that. There's a level of trust there. We know that we can be vulnerable again. We know that we can be ourselves. Well, on video, we can be vulnerable, okay, but that also translates into authenticity. The more authentic we are, the more true we are to ourselves, or the more maybe vulnerable we are with our experiences. We share the reality of what's happened so that people can really learn from our mistakes and learn the same lessons that we've learned. Just the nature of how-to videos and that you're giving so much value really helps to build a relationship with them in your videos. Now, there's something else that's important that you can do in your videos that will help that, okay? So compare the way that you would speak if you're talking to a large crowd up on stage. Okay, you're going to have a presentation voice, but in your videos, you don't want to be that way. And yet we tend to want to speak to a huge crowd. Hey everybody, how's it going? But the reality is only one person is watching your video at a time. Okay, so if you can just talk to one person as if you're sitting across from a desk with them, just having a one-on-one conversation, that's really going to be the most helpful in building a relationship. There's some simple things that you can do. So if I'm talking to you, I'll say, all right, so one thing that you want to do is, right, I just say you, instead of just saying, all right, people of the internet, you hear people say all sorts of weird things, but just address one person, just address you. Also, think about reciprocity. All right, when you give so much in videos, there's just a natural feeling of wanting to give back, even if it's just to say thank you. The nature of creating how-to videos versus any other type of content that you find on YouTube, you're giving a lot. You're really helping, and there's a natural reciprocity built in there that helps strengthen that relationship. Video has a lot of advantages. You probably are aware of many of them. Let's list them off right now. First of all, Google loves video. So Google will index your videos, and when people are searching for it, you'll be found on Google, not just YouTube, but Google as well. Also, when people watch a video, they're more likely to buy your product or service. So videos increase your return on investment, whether advertising or any traffic you get to your website. Videos also help you explain things easier and faster because you can just show them. Videos are easy to share. In fact, people like sharing videos or sending a link saying, hey, watch this. Makes it easier for them to explain something. And now that we have these amazing video players in our pockets, videos are mobile friendly, right? We get to watch videos anywhere we go. And think about this last advantage to video. Okay, people use videos to research. They use it as a filter. They want to know, should I do business with this person? Should I do business with this company? Let me go watch their video and see if they're legit. Now, for me personally, I prefer video over websites. I'll go take a look at their website, but I look on their website to see if they have a video. I want to watch the video to see if I want to do business with them. What are the disadvantages of video? Yeah, there are some. I mean, for one, the preparation takes the most time, the most amount of work. I mean, setting up the lighting, setting up the gear. This is my notes. This is my scripting. I'm filming 20 episodes today, so I've got a lot, but it took me a lot of time to think through this because Not only do I have to think about the content, but how I look and what shirt I'm going to wear. But then after preparation, you've got the filming itself, right? I'm looking into the camera. I have to make eye contact with you versus actually reading my notes or looking at my computer screen. There's a lot more that goes into the filming of it compared to any other type of content creation. If you're writing an article, you can be in your pajamas. If you're recording a podcast, yeah, you could still be in your pajamas, but if you're filming a video, you got to dress up a bit. Then there's another step. There's actually editing, right? So after you film, there's the lengthy process of editing your videos. Okay, so that's another disadvantage of video. And when you add all those things together, it leads into what I'll consider a fourth disadvantage, and that we tend to procrastinate video because it takes so much preparation, it takes so much work to do, and you have to do all the editing work afterwards. We put it off. We think, you know what, let me wait until I can get a better camera, or whatever our excuse is, but we procrastinate it because it is a lot of work, and that is a disadvantage to video. So with all this work, what makes video like this worth it? Well, you get referral quality leads, so the most amazing leads possible, and you have evergreen content. Every video you create adds momentum. It makes the snowball bigger and bigger, and you'll get leads from these videos for years and years to come. Now let's talk about how to do video efficiently. I've actually got 5 different areas that I'm going to cover really briefly about doing video efficiently. The first is topic selection, and if you haven't heard me talk about my keyword research, make sure you learn my strategy in detail. There's a video I'll link to right up there. It's called How to Get 1,000 Subscribers on YouTube in a Day. Now, as part of that strategy, I do keyword research, and I use one tool. I used to use many, but I found one tool that just replaced all of them, and this one tool does all the heavy lifting of deciding what you're going to film your videos on. So you put in your topic ideas, and this tool will tell you what the titles of your video will be, and you'll have an endless supply of titles. You won't run out of topics because of that tool. That really helps things be efficient, right? I know what I'm going to film about. I don't even have to think about it or waste any time or energy. The next area of helping you do video efficiently is in your content preparation. So I've got my outline here, and I outline talking points. So just bullet pointed lists of what I'm going to talk about, so they're just memory joggers. Instead of writing out a word for word script, that can be really time consuming and it's not as efficient. Also, knowing that you don't have to memorize all your points in order, that you can intentionally pause, that takes such a weight off of my shoulders and allows me to film efficiently. It does put more work on the editing team, which I'll talk about in just a minute. And I want to tie these 2 first points to my third point of efficiency, and that's filming in bulk. So today, I'm filming 20 episodes. I film 20 episodes in a day, and I launch a lot of content, but that still means I only have to film once every 4 weeks. And that's the same thing with my clients. I've got a client coming tomorrow filming 20 episodes. The next day, a client filming 20 episodes. We only have to film once every 4 weeks. So going back to point number 1, if we do our keyword research, we can research 20 topics at a time. Then when we're preparing our content, we have 20 titles, and we can just go and say, okay, to answer that question, I'm going to cover these points. And you just go video by video, and in a matter of hours, you can have the content for all 20 episodes outlined. And that's the most efficient way that I found. Now let's talk about editing. And how do you edit efficiently? Well, I personally love to hire people in the Philippines, and I've got a whole video I'll link to right up here about why I hire people in the Philippines. Long story short though, you can hire a full-time video editor for $450 a month and have it be a great blessing to you and to I, but it's a great blessing for them. They are really hoping that you'll hire them. Okay, the last point of efficiency in video that I want to talk about is thumbnails and launch. You've really got to create a system for this. So for me, I used to handle it all myself, and now I also have somebody in the Philippines that handles that side of it for me. So because we're talking about so much content, you do need to find an efficient way to do thumbnails and to launch your videos. So now that you understand the value of video and YouTube, I want you to really understand my strategy. So go ahead and click this video either here or up there. It's called How to Get 1,000 Subscribers on YouTube in a Day.